Hold on to your tiaras, folks, because the kitchen's on fire, and not in a good way. Remember when Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, announced her foray into the culinary world? Well, let's just say her cooking show debut on the Graham Norton show was less Duchess Delight and more Culinary Calamity, thanks in no small part to a certain Mikey Madison. What was supposed to be a charming demonstration of Markle's supposed culinary prowess quickly devolved into a cringe-worthy spectacle, leaving viewers wondering if the Duchess had ever held a whisk before, let alone knew how to use one. The initial signs of trouble were subtle. Markle, radiating that familiar Hollywood charm, seemed a tad too rehearsed, her smile a little too wide, as she introduced her signature dish, a California Sunshine lemon and avocado tart. The name itself seemed a tad pretentious, a bit like the Duchess herself, and the ingredients list, recited with an air of condescending expertise, included items most of us would need a specialist grocery store to find. But hey, we were willing to give her the benefit of the doubt. After all, who are we to judge a duchess's culinary creations? Apparently, Mikey Madison, sitting beside her on Norton's famous red sofa, was more than willing. Madison, known for her roles in Better Things and Scream, seemed initially amused by Markle's theatrical presentation. But as the Duchess began her demonstration, things took a decidedly downward turn. First, there was the avocado incident. Markle, attempting to demonstrate the perfect avocado ripeness, proceeded to mangle the poor fruit, leaving it bruised and battered. Madison, barely containing her laughter, muttered something about avocado abuse under her breath, which, thanks to the magic of live microphones, was picked up by the studio audience and broadcast to millions. Then came the lemon zest debacle. Markle, armed with a microplane, seemed to be grating the lemon with all the finesse of a toddler wielding a crayon. Zest flew everywhere, except into the mixing bowl. Madison, now openly chuckling, offered some unsolicited advice, demonstrating the proper technique with a speed and efficiency that made Markle's efforts look even more amateurish. The Duchess, visibly flustered, snapped back with a thinly veiled barb about Hollywood types not understanding the nuances of royal cuisine. Ouch! But the real carnage began with the tart crust. Markle, claiming to have a secret family recipe, proceeded to pull a pre-made crust from under the counter, a move that drew gasps from the audience and raised eyebrows from Norton. Madison, never one to mince words, called her out on it, asking, so, that family recipe involves buying it at the store? Markle, her carefully constructed facade crumbling, stammered a response about time constraints and the demands of royal life. But the damage was done. The remainder of the segment was a masterclass in awkwardness. Markle, clearly rattled, struggled to assemble the tart, her movements clumsy and hesitant. Madison, meanwhile, continued to offer helpful commentary, pointing out every culinary misstep with a blend of dry wit and thinly veiled disdain. At one point, she even grabbed a whisk and took over, effectively hijacking the segment. The audience, initially polite, erupted into applause as Madison expertly finished the tart, leaving Markle standing there, looking like she'd just been served a slice of humble pie. The fallout from the show has been, shall we say, interesting. Social media exploded with memes and gifs of Markle's culinary meltdown, with hashtags like #DuchessOfDisaster and #Tartgate trending worldwide. Critics have accused Markle of being inauthentic, pointing to her carefully curated image and her attempts to portray her